we're back outside, and I've been making new videos constantly, and I'm kind of running out of ideas here. So I do have a video coming with something like that, talking about if you guys would like to see certain things that do fit the content of this channel. Now, I am mic'd up. You guys can't see it, but the mic is hooked right here in front of me. Hopefully you guys can hear me good. I don't know what I'm going to choose this title yet, but for the viewers, let me ask you something. What do you consider being black, as in the race, as in mixed as well, right? So, there's always been a topic and a debate about what race can say the N-word. Alright? I want to go back to Christopher Columbus. Now, Christopher Columbus, they left England to search for new land. Right? Well, we all know during the trip, they got sick along the way. They had money on them. They had gold and diamonds. Before hitting New York, because that's where they first made harbor at, if you will, when coming to the new land, which is now known as America. Well, they stopped in Mexico. I talked about this before in the video called Culture, which goes into why Latinos or Mexicans don't like black people. I will link that video down in the description below, so you guys really check that out. Well, since Mexico didn't like Africa, they told Christopher Columbus about Africa, right? Now, it wasn't going to be for free. There was going to be a trade deal. So again, Christopher Columbus had gold, they had diamonds, right? But they needed medication. So the Mexicans had medication. So they said, okay, give us some gold and diamonds in exchange for medication for this info. And that's what they did. Now, a lot of people say, well, how did they communicate? They speak two different languages. Well, actually, you'll be wrong. Mexicans are not considered black people. They do not have the right to say the word nigger. They do not have that right. A lot of people, those who are Latinos, say, oh yeah, we do because we're higher up on the color wheel. You're not. And that debate with the black community, they're against Mexicans saying the word. And they have every right to be. Because what happened if I told you Mexican or Spanish is really a Roman language? Because they're really white people. That's why they can understand and communicate with the English that come from Roman, right? That go to Italy, which is Italians. So from Italy, Rome, England, and Mexico is Roman. It's English. They understand each other because it is a white language. So Mexicans are really white. That's common. That's knowledge right there. That's history that nobody wants to share. Because heaven forbid if the truth comes out. That's, again, common knowledge. That's history. You know how I found that out? Through Daylight. Watch his Vlad TV interview when he dressed up as Bradley. He shares that knowledge, and it's very real. Mexicans are white people. That's why they communicated with Christopher Columbus so good. They spoke the same language, English language, Roman, Italy, Spanish. It's the same thing because they're white people. Alright? Now, over the years, nobody is 100% of anything. Nobody. A lot of people say, well, I'm 100% this or I'm that. No. Everyone is mixed because everyone and their ancestors interraced with different races. In other words, they had sex, right? So no one's 100% of anything. If you really look at DNA test, you have never seen a DNA test come back as 100%. Why? Because you have not just your mother, your father's DNA, but you have either your uncles, your aunts, right? Your grandparents' DNA in you. So not everything's going to be 100%. It's not. You have never seen a 100% test of DNA done at all. You have not. And if somebody has, then please show me. But there's not. There really isn't. So you go into where all the slaves came to be, right? They just did not come from Africa, which is, again, that has Nigeria in it, and also Egypt, right? Because Egyptians were actually black. But you also have Jamaica, right? You have the Asians and the Chinese that were brought over here. The Indians are already here. So already you have 3 different race of people. Black people, Indians, and Asians, right? Now, to those that are saying, well, Asians don't like us. No, they do like us. The problem is, we let the bad apples, the coons, that go into these Asian places who don't know how to act. That's the problem. Think about it. Why do you think that you're attracted so much to Asian culture? Because it's within our DNA. So, you had the Indians, the Chinese, Asians, whatever you want to call them, Africans, all right there in this country interraced with each other. Now, back then, that was a huge no-no if it got brought out into the light. Because if they found out several races were interracial with each other, having sex, creating kids, you're going to get the child took away from you, and then there's a good chance that both parents or one parent would be killed. There's a chance that the child would be killed too. During that, it really depends on who you're working for, who was your master. So you had the Indians that were doing the crops, you had the Africans that were doing the fields, you had the Asians and Chinese that were doing the railroad track, right? That would now be connected as a continent or now a state to where we are now, right? So Nav, who was from Canada, he's not a mid-Indian. He's not North Indian. North Indian is Middle Indians here in the U.S. You have your East and your West Indians. Nav is a West Indian. However, he's also Arabic. So, he cannot say the word nigger. He can't. Going from that, you have, again, what I just shared, the Asians, right? Who are here, who were raised here for so long, especially with Indian people. Because we interrace with each other, again, you Indians, blacks, Asians, because we all interrace with each other, our ancestors did, guess what? You're Indian, you're considered black as well. So you have the right to say nigger. Your ancestors who were Asian, who interraced with the black villagers, who created children, because I have seen that before, like, you know, a half Asian, half black. You have the right to say nigger. If you're Indian and black, you have the right to say nigger. You are Indian and Asian, you have the right to say the word nigger. Because Indians are also considered black people, even though our skin looks red. Alright? So we have that. Same thing with albinos, who have the wool hair, nappy hair. Now take a look at my hair. That's half Italian. The waves go to the Indian hair right there, and at the back, I have a shit ton of naps, which is the black Indian. Alright? So, with what I just said so far, with the 3 races, they have the right to say that word. We do. Now, what about Drake? This is the main part of the subject. A lot of people in the black community listen to Drake. Drake gets away with saying nigga all the time. But I don't know if I told you he's not black. He ain't even Indian. He's Arabic. He's Arabic. His father, Arabic. His mother, Arabic. A lot of people say, well, his father's black. No, his father is Arabic. Matter of fact, his father's East Indian and Arabic. His mother's Arabic. They lived in Canada, so they're Canadian, right? Drake is Arabic, East and West Indian, and he's also Canadian. So he's not black. He's a culture vulture, if anything. And again, I broke that down of how he is a culture vulture to the fullest in the video, the meaning of the word culture. Again, I'm going to link that down in the video, and I do recommend you guys to really check out that video. Now, is he considered racist, mocking, right, Indians? Yes, he is. What about the Jamaicans? Yes, he is. Him, when he put it on blackface, no one said nothing because everyone thought he was black. Well, I'm sorry. That's a race term with what he did. Blackface is considered racist. Again, he's not black. He's East, West Indian, and Arabic, Canadian. He was doing blackface. He was mocking the black community. So that is a racial move. He was being racist. It makes sense. Think about that. Right? Think about it. Now, to him, why do you think he was so and go hard on Kanye West but poking fun of his wife? Because to Drake, white and black people shouldn't be together. Think about that for a minute. That's what Drake was doing. So he is not black. Look into it. He may look like it, but he's not. He makes fun of different cultures because that's how he was raised. That's how he was raised. Alright? So, what about, again, albino people, right? Who are black, but they look white. They have the right to say nigga. You know, there's a reason why we were called colored people for a reason. We come as dark as a microphone to as light as a piece of paper. Again, none of us are 100% of anything, but the question is, what race of people do you consider being black, to use the word nigga? Again, if you guys take a look at my videos, I tell you what I'm mixed with. Alright, Cherokee Indian, South African, Jamaican, Egyptian, and Italian. Right? My mother, she's partially black. My father, I think my stepfather, I should say, he's white. I believe my birth father, he's part black and something else. I can't really remember. But again, who do you consider, or what race of people do you consider black if they're mixed with it? And especially when it comes to the term use of the word nigga, what race do you consider that can use that word? I broke it down to the best I could within this video. I even go ahead and let it be known, like, hey, you know, Mexicans, they can't say that because they're not black. The reason why they think they're on top of the food chain is because there's so many years of slavery that was going on. They were still doing business with white people, still selling out other groups of people, again, for what? Money, in exchange for meds, in exchange for, you know, giving up people. So they made a partnership deal with them, man. And believe it or not, Mexicans had some Indians and Asians and blacks for slaves too. Think about that. Again, this is stuff that history that you learn in BS school, man, ain't gonna teach you. This is something you have to go out and look for. This is history that people, or the world in the new society, you know, the high powers want to hide. They really do. Especially down in Mexico. So, you know, guys really need to think about what I'm saying in this video. You know, so the question is, what group of people do you consider black to say the N-word? What group? You know, if you guys were to take a look at pictures of me when I was younger, you couldn't even tell that I was mixed. Like, my skin was pale fucking white. I look like a white child, but my hair didn't match up, right? Over the years, you know, my skin tone actually started coming in. You know, that's saying a lot. So, you know, hey, not too much else I can say about this video. I hope you guys did enjoy it and learned something and opened your mind to some questions. You know, and hopefully that you guys also got some answers. So, hey, I'm out. Have a good day.